How can it be live? That's not even a game I'm playing. How weird is that? What? What's going on? Well, that was a bit strange. Just doing a little bit of a test stream here, see what it's like, but for some reason it was showing Kirby's Dream World as the game. I'm not sure it's that. Oh, I think it is working, it's just a delay. So I'm just testing out a little bit of Silpheed on the Mega CD. This is the European version, and I've got my custom made arcade stick. So might as well press start. This is a pretty impressive game for the Mega CD, really. It's doing quite a lot with the hardware, and certainly in '93 this kind of stuff on your games console was pretty mind-blowing. And what this game does, it plays sort of FMV as the backdrop, and it really adds to the depth of what, you know, potentially could have been a more simplistic polygonal type shooter, I guess. So I don't know how bad the clicking will be, but it's genuine Samurai parts, so hopefully not too bad. I don't think I've actually got any viewers, so I'm sort of talking to myself now. But as you can see, the backdrop there of the planet, the way it moves and appears to scale, very impressive. It really does add to the depth of the game. So when you shoot these power-ups, you either get these diamond-shaped orbs, which are bonus points, or you get repair tokens, which you would definitely need because things get real hectic pretty much after the first minute or two of gameplay. But certainly on subsequent levels, it really does get quite taxing. And certainly I find, but the further you play, the more impressive this game is. It's not one of those where they made all the effort at the beginning. By the time you get to level 3, you really are thinking, wow, this is incredible. So, who knows, maybe we'll get there. Just playing on the normal difficulty level. I'm sure we can go harder, but I'll stay in my lane. I always find it difficult to collect those power-ups for some bizarre reason. It's sort of... oh, no. Yeah, it's very impressive how these polygonal enemies sort of scale in and out. So I hope anybody watching has had an enjoyable Christmas. No, I certainly have. Today's probably the first day when I've not been rushing around doing loads of stuff, so it's quite nice just to be able to relax, play a few games. So I thought, I might as well test out this streaming setup while I'm here. I am the sort of person though, once he's got something set up and working, doesn't use it again. But we'll see, we'll see. Somehow I've missed an invincibility power up, which really makes this section so much easier, but we'll have to fare on through. I believe this game was originally on the PC, and it didn't have all these FMV type backgrounds. It was a bit more simplistic from what I know. I also think this was released on the Sharp 6800. That was probably a much better conversion, but I don't know too much about it. There's a boss anyway, and he's throwing CD-ROMs about like no tomorrow. There you go. That's all like the bad singles he's bought. What tactics of that sound but I've managed to dispose of him, so I guess it's not the end of the world. I'm just drinking a bit of Nescafe Gold toffee and nut, I think it is. Pretty nice, to be fair. Now these sequences here scream Star Wars, and really impressive. Love the sound design.
The leader of the terrorists solemnly introduced himself as Zakarte.
Zakarte.
The survivors of the Galaxy Union and the colony planet's fleet assembled.
See, I'm using the custom-made arcade stick today.
Lay across their way to the solar system.
It's pretty heavy duty.
Restructuring and the addition of reinforcements to the tactical fighter spacecraft, the SA-77
So it makes an excellent drum kit.
Their last resort, the remaining fleet began the counterattack. Their destination, the mother planet, Earth.
So hopefully, microphone isn't picking up the sound of the speakers. They're not on horrifically loud, but just enough to actually enjoy the gameplay. Press start. So hopefully I've got all my health back, because I didn't do particularly well, I don't think, on that stage. A lot of asteroids in this one. Yeah, I've heard this game is particularly taxing for the Sega Mega CD. And it's one of the few that's utilising Mega CD and the Mega Drive all at once, all the chipsets on the go. So, whether that's 100% true, I don't know. I'm not a games programmer. Oh, I really didn't need them points. More help than that. Yeah, it's so impressive, these asteroids coming in. I guess it's very primitive by today's standards. There's no texture map or anything really, is there? But I think once you get into the gameplay, you sort of forget about all of that. Oh no. Desperately need that help. Ooh. Gonna put a seat further forward. Looks like I'm going to have to utilise to continue at least. From memory, you do start at the start of the level. We'll see, got a bit of health there. It's not all bad news. I'm going left, don't worry. It's telling me more than 6 times. Right all the way, I've got you. I think the thing you have to try and remember in this game is that unless you're some sort of like superhuman destroying every enemy, pretty difficult. So they are flying at a fair rate of knots. I'd definitely say that. Well, the controls feel good. To be honest, it's not one of those games where it's overly frustrating to hit the enemy. Collecting the power-ups, that's a different thing altogether. Apparently I've got some sort of super bomb. Hoping that's on the B. I've not seen anything come out, so maybe I've used it already. Not sure if the effect shows up with the capture, but certainly on a CRT. Oh, these rockets look crazy. Some neon. I don't know how you would describe it. Sort of flashing. They are impressive. Yes. I'll tell you what, for sea level 3 I'll be happy, and I think we're going to see it. So, because level 3 is where it really kicks off. So I don't think there's any comments. I don't really know much about it because I'm just on the YouTube studio thing, but it doesn't say anything's coming up. Press start. So I'll watch a little bit of intro again. Yeah, I mean, if someone is out there, just let us know what the sound levels are like. Oh, I'm not getting an intro, am I? I've skipped it already. Right, carry on. Yeah, I love the backdrops there. Clearly primitive by today's standards. Could probably play this game on a calculator, but you know, for 93 at home, this was pretty cool. Oh no, my dear. They're not messing about now, they're sending out the best pilots they've got. Oh no. It says I've gone live, it doesn't say I've got any comments, so hopefully I'm not ignoring anyone. Destroy. Yes, that's what we need to do. And the powers that we need. Oh. Got to remember, the trouble is now on the higher levels, if you don't kill the enemy, they come back and they've got real vengeance about them. They double their efforts. Oh, it's a big place, space. Ooh. Ooh. We're in trouble there. Big trouble. Points me in prizes, but it's all about repairs. What's this thing going to start doing? All the worst. Oh god. It's a bit close. Oh my. I can't hit these guys. They're just running into me. Oh, look at that, beautiful. Oh, I think there was a comment. Oh, it's Stuart. Hello there. Hello Stuart, how you doing? Oh, no shield. There's too many of them. You're right. Weapon failure. It's going to take an absolute miracle, but this is a really cool part of the game, so happy enough just to get here. Engine failure's not looking good. All things are looking bad. This Silpheed, yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah, on the old Mega CD. Actually spinning the disc. I'll go for a continue. Yeah, it's a pretty good game. How's your Christmas anyway? You've been having a fun time? I think this is the first day when I've not been rushing around, so just thought I'd chill out, play a few games and test out the streaming setup. Obviously once I know it works perfectly I'll probably never use it again, but although as Dave's Game Room said, literally if you don't use it for a bit and you come back you have to change it all again, so that sounds like something can't really get behind. It sounds quite frustrating. Yeah, it's just the European version as well, it's nothing Nothing too fancy. I'll tell you what, if it's 17.5% faster in NTSC land, I don't want to know because this is too fast already. I'll stick to this. This is flying along for me. Get all that up, I don't need it, brilliant. Oh, I need that though, whatever that is. Oh, that's so much hits. Come on. Use the force, Luke. Went to watch the new Star Wars film the other day. I liked it. I'm sure if the sort of person who overanalyses these things, I mean, obviously someone's got the ring on the wrong finger or the wrong coloured lightsaber, then you may well take a disdain to it perhaps, but as far as the film went, I thought it was cool. Although it went on for a bit, quite a while, 2.5 hours, I had to go to the toilet halfway. Now this guy, he's got some tricks up his sleeve. Remember that. Go for a ram, yeah. Oh, still soaking up the hits. Come on. Might have met the match here. Crikey, there's loads of. Hold on, let me see. Is that another joystick you've made? Is that a homemade stick? What stick and buttons did you use? I have two kids who are doing my head in, so it's been wonderful. I got a Mega SD to go in my Japanese Mega Drive. Some games did run at the correct speed on pound, not many though. I watched it, it wasn't bad to be honest, but they had to continue from a bad position. Ah right, yeah, they did have to continue from a bad position admittedly. Yeah, I thought it was good. I went to the pub afterwards and some lad was like saying, oh, I can't go and watch it because last time in the last film they did this thing with like this force push thing and it was totally against the laws of physics and all that, and I was like, mate, I'll just go to watch the film. I don't go there expecting it to be hyper realistic. But yeah, no, this is a stick. It's the same one that I made years ago. It's the first one I ever made. I didn't even make a good job of it. Look, the bottom of it was a right hack and slash really. Yeah, I didn't even make a good job of it. It's just because PVA glue all over the bottom of it. But I just used Samurai parts. I just got the best parts I could get. That was Samurai, to be honest, so that was that. I'll have one more go, I think. Yeah, I should imagine having two kids would do your head in. I mean, well, I haven't got kids, so, but I find after 3 or 4 hours in the company of children, it can start to wear a little bit thin. So days upon days. I don't know, I suppose you get used to it, I guess. So where I'm going wrong here is I need to avoid being hit. That's a big problem I'm having. It starts off calm enough, doesn't it? But then, all of a sudden, balls to the wall. It's mentalist. And they just sneak. They're sneaky. And you try to think, well, I won't bother with them, and then they're backfiring you. I think I've got to try and avoid them. Oh god. Go on, fly off. Oh no, just gotta do what you can do. These things are a nuisance really. It's all you need when you're flying through space. What is that? Just, oh right, just destroys everything that's on screen. I should have saved that for a better moment. Maybe this is the thing, you've just got to destroy them as soon as they come on the screen. That might be the key. Why did I get hit one of them lasers? Fucking bombs and bullets going all over the shop, lasers flying out of the sky. Bonus. A dodging bonus. It's the only problem with having this front facing camera. You can see how this draws a look. Well, maybe. If the white balance doesn't keep doing loads of weird stuff. What you saying? Hold on. Oh yeah, right, hold on. The joystick box that you made is still made a joystick from a Neo Geo. I need to save up for that Neo SD card. What's the new Neo SD Pro? Do you know? The new Neo SD Pro, basically you can store 4 games in it straight away, so you don't have to load them up. And the last, so you can actually store 5 games, I believe. The last one you played, and then 4 of your choice. I think the load times are quicker. I think it's got a different, FPGA chipset or something, but bearing in mind it's about $200 more. To be honest, I was never 100% happy with the one I had, because there were still games like, oh my god, what did I do that for? That wasn't helpful whatsoever. But stay out of that lane. There's the next one coming from in the middle again. What's in the pattern? And then to the right. Oh, was that it? Wow, wicked. So yeah, I think that's about it really. What's that? Is it going to be any good? That's the thing I don't know. Does anyone know if that's any good? I'm going to say no. What's that? A graviton bomb? That looks like it could be good. Yeah, the trouble with the Mega Drives and trying to play PAL games at 60 Hz and all that, even if it doesn't seem like it's an issue, because of the clock speeds and because of like the crystals in them, and there's just so many different things. Like some games work, but I've just got a multi-region machine, and for the majority of games they work no problem. What is that? I don't know, I feel like I need to get it. To repair? Yes, I needed to get that. Oh shit. Lasers in this game are not friendly. So yeah, I mean, you're probably best just to, either have a multi-region machine and an EverDrive, or the Sega thing you've got. Well, they're not cheap, are they? They're about $200. Yeah, when AOSD, there were certain games you had issues with, especially like Metal Slug games. All of a sudden the screen would go out of sync and stuff like that. Admittedly, a lot of this could have been sorted by a patch or whatever else, but I ain't got enough time to play every single game there is. I ain't got enough time to play every single game we've got, so I'm just so indecisive. I couldn't. Oh shit, I need that healthy. I'm not the kind of person who can pick a game easily. If I've got too much choice, it's just a pain in the arse. I'd rather just put a game in all of my machines and just play around them, and then that's it. I mean, I've got about 6-7 different systems plugged in, so how long is it going to take to play 6 or 7 games? It's probably more time than I've got to spare, so I don't know. If you're not streaming, then them sort of devices are amazing, but I don't know, this is not really for me, I don't think. Although I probably would get the Neo SD Pro, because having the 4 games already on there would be pretty awesome. But only if I had this cash spare. There's better ways to spend, how much is it? About $550, so what's that, about 400 something quid? There are better ways to spend 400 and something quid. Especially bearing in mind most of the summer I didn't really play that many games, so... I'm still buying games for consoles now, so it's not like... I just prefer that, buying the odd game. Playing it for a few weeks or something. Or even a few minutes, whatever. I guess if you're just going for the minimalistic thing, you didn't have room for games on display, or you weren't really nostalgic about that sort of thing, it's amazing. How much would it cost you really to get all the flash carts and all the systems? Relatively little in comparison to collecting these days, for definite, so... I've certainly not got anything against it. It's all about playing the game, isn't it? It doesn't matter how you're playing it. I don't care if you're playing it on a Casio keyboard, if you're enjoying it, then fair play. This is how I'm playing mine. Ooh, free repair. The repairs are getting better. Why didn't they do that from the start? Oh my blimey, fighter. Watch out for the cannons. Oh, them ones. Yeah. We've not got a map in this thing, no. Proceed with caution. Yep. I don't think that was the caution they were talking about. It's not looking well. We're not going to make it to the Death Star. We're not making it to the Death Star.
Game over.
So yeah, well, I will try a different console. But yeah, Silpheed, it's awesome. Game over. Look at that, my main weapon has fired 10,927 shots. Should it say, I missed the last 5 minutes, my eldest lost some small Lego bits from his Millennium Falcon he's building. Yeah man, bummer. Now this is the only problem I've got getting out of this beanbag seat. Yeah, sorry for that extreme close up. So I'll tell you what I'll do. Let's give this a go. Now I've got to, now I've made my life difficult, because what I've got to do, I have already, that's not the right one, that's not the right one, that's the right one, and it should come back on, we'll see, might not of course. Ah, I know what's not come back on. You see, if we're just using a bloody emulator, we won't be worried about it. This will die, this would be easy enough. Oh no. But, we're back. All I've got to do now is try and get back in this seat. It weren't a bad effort. Let's get back to that. Open one of the bags with small bits and it went flying. Yeah, that sounds like a real nightmare. That sounds like the sort of thing I wake up having a hot sweat about. Yeah, certainly not good. What are the sound levels like, Stu? Can you hear the gameplay? Have you tried any of the new wireless console controllers? No. I can touch my console from here. So, not really much need for wireless other than the fact all the wires are everywhere, which is a problem. But, yeah, it's just more expense, isn't it? You know, how far do you go? How far down the rabbit hole do you go? I mean, realistically, I've spent thousands over the years, so... Obviously my aim was always, you know, not to keep buying the current generation stuff. Just to sort of have a nice selection to play whenever, which is sort of what's happened. I certainly don't bother with the modern stuff. Although again, I've got nothing against it. I've not played this game for years. I remember when I had my Saturn and the PlayStation was out, and everyone was saying, "Oh yeah, the Sega Saturn can't do 3D games." And you were like, "Have you seen this Panzer Dragoon?" And everyone I know had a PlayStation was like, "Yeah, no, that is pretty amazing actually." Because this, I mean, especially later on, this really does kick the arse of the PlayStation era. The games from the PlayStation of this era were 3D. Didn't look nowhere near as good as this. I think this is using the high resolution mode of the Saturn, so I just could do that rather than keep bashing the button. What's Stuart saying? Pause work. I've got the 8-bit do and the retro bit ones, and I think the 8-bit do ones has less lag. Yeah, I'll just stick with these, I suppose. I've got loads of controllers, so yeah, I can see the advantage of having them, but I mean, I suppose they're 20 or 30 quid a pop, are they? By the time all said and done, it's about another 200 quid. I mean, to be fair, I'm just not playing. I'm not playing enough to warrant really investing much more into it, really. I don't think. I just think there's better ways to spend money. Certainly for me at this point, it's not like I've not got any games. It's not like I've not got any controllers. The only thing I've not got is, you know, tons of spare time to play them. Just because I've been doing other things, but certainly it's wonderful over Christmas to be able to play a few games. I never know if it actually does any more damage to it doing this, but Saturn's just too hard to program for. Yeah, it would have helped if Sega had released the tools for it to everyone, rather than just keeping it to their own development houses. 8-bit do is 20 quid, retro bit is £35-ish. Yeah, well, like I say, I mean, this is the first time I plugged in the actual original Saturn pad for, I don't know, gotta be getting on for at least a year, so is it worth me getting a wireless pad? I don't know, probably not. Yeah, I think I'm just not really, apart from all these wires, which is a bit of a problem, I must admit, it's not really much of an issue. But it is interesting the way things are moving forward. You can definitely see a time when you're going to be able to buy a console that's going to play the majority of the cartridges and the majority of the CDs, and you'll be able to plug in your own controllers, all these new wireless controllers, and you know, it seems to be the way things are moving, doesn't it? Seems like there's a big movement to making sure there is another option for hardware and accessories, I guess. So it's only a good thing, I suppose. I mean, what do you do if you need a new Sega Mega Drive pad? What do? You get one on eBay that you've probably Going to have to clean up loads. Maybe buy all new rubber pads for it, de-sterilise it, or dear. So I'll just get one of these new wireless ones. See, I've got plenty of controllers. Hold on. Plenty of controllers, but my kids just can't seem to grasp controllers had wires, and they run around pulling consoles off the shelf. Oh man, yeah, that's definitely a good reason to have them. No, no, no! I've not targeted him the whole time. Damn! As soon as I press the thing, it's gonna. No, it's not. Good, I didn't kill him. I don't know if he is a good guy. I reckon he is that of a Dragon Rider. It's hard to not kill him, especially if you're lazy and just use the auto-targeting thing like this. I still think this game looks good now. I really do. I think just the way the colours are and the... I mean, yeah, it's breaking up a little bit, I suppose, but... Yeah, nice skyline. Albeit a bit pixelated. I should have been looking behind me then. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there is a fair bit of pop in it. At the end of the day, when this game was released, you accepted that kind of thing. I mean, the leap from Mega Drive to this, even from 32X to this, not that 32X did that much, but potential power, at least I believe the chipsets were somewhat similar to the Saturn, some of them were. Just the scale of this game, the size of some of the enemies, yeah, it's huge. And there's certainly a lot going on at once. Oh dear. Yeah, I mean, I suppose even if you have a lot of people around your house, the wireless controls would definitely come in handy. I suppose you could get 4 and plug them into a 4-player adapter, so... Ooh. A bit beaten up there. Now there's a move. Ooh, I don't think we can neglect that side. What am I doing? Someone's firing at something out here. Oh, hello. A lot of smoke going on. So what did you get your kids for Christmas anyway, Stuart? Other than a Lego Millennium Falcon? Although, did you get that when you watched Star Wars? And give me some sort of playing card or something. I think it's still in my coat, I never did look at it. Should have given it to my nephew, really. I forgot all about it, to be honest. We just talked about it then. Yeah, what's the button to go mental? Ah, that's it. I got it. Yeah, I still think this game's impressive, I really do. The amount of polygons and things that get thrown about here is just mental. It takes some firepower to get this old girl out still. Barely flying now, it's still going long. I think she's a goner. I think she's a goner. How's my coffee coming along? I got plenty of beer for Christmas, so that was good. To me, that's the best gift you can give. Because I've pretty much got everything else, so... Yeah, the dragon's evolved. But yeah, I suppose this new, what's this called? Microsoft, no, YouTube Studio. Doesn't seem too bad actually. At least I can see everything on one screen. It's just I got my computer so far away. I need to take proper notice. All I remember about this game is the further you get, the better looking it gets. It's yeah, it must be episode 4 or 5. That is truly mind blowing. Oh my, nearly missed that. Yeah, I just thought I'd do a quick sort of test stream, see what the audio levels were like. It is a little bit difficult using multiple consoles because what we're doing. They all output at different levels really. Some you have control over with headphone ports, and obviously others you don't, so bit of potluck. As long as it's not echoing from the speakers to the microphone, that's probably the worst thing that can happen. I think because this microphone's so basic, it really does only output from the very front, or really, well, only really pick up from the very front. Because the Blue Yeti, you know, that would pick up from anywhere in the room, really. Which had its uses, but it also has disadvantages. a bit dark in here. Oh, that's why. That beast. Oh, there he is. I'm going to unleash the mega attack on this guy. I think it might be necessary. Oh no, I think that was a waste. I don't know actually. Didn't do him any favours, I don't think. He's not laughing anymore. I don't think it's the end though, because no, spoiler alert, this massive thing comes out of the ground. Absolute beast. You'll see. If you've not seen it before, you'll see. Oh, there's a place from the dragon there. Had a bit of a yelp. The audio levels have been perfect throughout the stream. Nice one, thanks. Sumo Blast. Sumo Bast. Excuse my eyesight. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'm just using the S-video input of the Elgato. Not quite sure how you pronounce it. And I'm just converting my RGB SCART to S-video with this reasonably expensive converter. I didn't pay much for it, but originally they were quite expensive, and it seemed to work pretty well. Certainly when it comes to feeding the capture card. So I'm not sure how many million miles away it is from when I was converting RGB SCART to HDMI. I don't think that much. I don't think that much to be concerned about when watching a video on YouTube. I wanted that beasting power left because this thing is a ferocious beast. I remember seeing this when I first got this game. Before I traded in my Saturn for a PlayStation 1. Finally got into the hype for Final Fantasy VII, which I did enjoy, but that was mainly because it became a contest between somebody else who had it who could complete it first. I totally was cheating because I bought the guide for it, which was really handy actually. Because otherwise, it would have been near enough impossible. What's that? What's going on? Is he still going? It's the gift that keeps on giving. But yeah, I do sort of wish I'd stuck with my Saturn because I would have got Panzer Dragoon Saga. Because I had the first and the second one. And even though it's cool to have a Japanese version with your 60Hz full screen action and all that business, at least when I had the PAL ones, you could read the story. Not saying the story's probably held up. I don't think it's graphic novel material, but I think it explained it somewhat. Oh, you know, it's episode 5. I think this level is. This one's a right nightmare to get off. It really is. The boss on this is horrendous. He never seems to die. Amazing how far behind the stream is. Last night I was watching the football on Amazon and listened to it on the radio, and the commentary was about a minute and a half ahead of the TV. Oh, this is so weird. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's in case you say something really bad and you've got to get rid of the stream quickly. Oh, is this the... Oh, this is the lead up to the boss. I'm a bit guilty just killing them, so they weren't really doing any harm. Oh right, okay. Well, they weren't doing any harm until now. Now they're having a go, dropping road cones everywhere. Oh yeah. What's going on here? I don't know what they're doing. Strangest enemy going. In a minute though. Beautiful music in this game. How strange is this? Madness. Something out of Alien. They're dropping them in everywhere. Uh-oh. Yeah, when she finds one in the back of the ship and it's still alive. There it is. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There's another one as well. Oh my word, they're everywhere. I can't remember it being like this. I'm sure there was only one of these that chased me down a bridge. Now it's turned into some sort of weird scene out of Alien. Ooh. I thought I was going to get crushed then. I really don't remember this. Oh, is this it? Music's kicking in. Whoa. I totally forgot about any of this. Such a crazy game though. I think this is one of the first games I played when we got the streaming setup actually. Get back on the right track. Oh, is that good? This is where it begins. Hardly any health. Out there somewhere. We'll just get bigger and badder. There it was. Bulletproof water. Confirmed. The strange thing about this game is you didn't really have much control over your actual character. Certainly when I played the original on this, I'd never seen anything like it. Uh-oh. And I don't know if there has been anything like it since, really, other than Panzer Dragoon Saga, which I never got to play, although I thought it was more of a role-playing game. Oh, didn't see you there. Forgot that mental move, now's the time. What's the time? Maybe now wasn't the time yet. I've really got very little health. I think even if his whisker hits me, it's game over. They don't look friendly. They're definitely not friendly. Oh. I'm sure it starts you from the very beginning. I'm pretty sure it does. Save end. Oh. So yeah, I think I'll just try one more console and then we'll probably call it a day. Tell you what, I'll put Super Nintendo on. Oh, I'll tell you what, no, should I put I'll put Neo Geo on. No, this is Ghost Pilot, so I'm probably going to. Hold on. Have you got an Xbox? Panzer Dragoon Auto is awesome. Yeah, I've not got an Xbox anymore. But I did buy that game when I did get an Xbox because at the time I lived with someone and we both had PS2s. So, well, a lodger I had, he had a PS2 and I had a PS2. So I said, I'll tell you what, I'll trade mine in and get the Xbox. That was when Xbox Live came out. Already at that point there was loads of cool games and they were already dirt cheap, like second hand at Game Station. So yeah, I got Panzer Dragoon Auto. Yeah, it was awesome. Don't think I completed it, but it was a really cool game. Oh, Neil. Trying to press the button as quietly as possible. Not easy. I wish I had made a joystick for my Neo Geo. But alas, I haven't yet. There's only so many big lumps of wood though you really want. I suppose you could make some sort of multi-console cord if you wanted. Probably dissect a few PCBs from original controllers. I don't mind the original Neo Geo sticks. They're not perfect, but they're what came with the console, so they're not up to the performance of the one I made, but you know what can be. Set the bar too high, it's difficult to find anything else that matches. Oh my. This is one of those games where on the offset you think, well, it doesn't look too difficult, does it really? It's just those stray bullets catch you out, and also those planes that you let get behind you and come back with some nasty surprises. Spent many a happy hour playing this actually on the Neo Geo. A great two-player shooter this is. Simple to understand. 2 buttons. It is difficult, but when you're playing with 2 people, when someone continues, they get to restart right alongside you as long as they don't both die at the same time, so it makes it a bit less frustrating. Because, I mean, let's face facts, not everyone in the world is really good at shooting ups or anything like that, so I've got a pause button. No, right, still that Panzer Dragoon Auto. Oh, Neil, what's it doing? Oh no! Drop the bomb. What do you got? There we go. Have it. Bombs away in old Bombay. But I'll tell you what, I made a bit of a mess of that. Oh, there's no rest for the wicked here. carry on into the forests. Yeah, the only bad thing about this game is it does drag on. Like, I've never completed it, but it just goes on and on and on. Well, it's a Neo Geo arcade game, so obviously it's designed to take your credits, not for you to sit there and complete it. Well, there probably is someone who completes on one credit, but they're probably not like 100% human. There's a little bit of them, must be a bit special, like. There's not much in the way of variation of power-ups either. There's a few different bombs you can get. Oh, damn. Although to be fair, I mean, how many people at this point haven't played this game? It's, not that many shooters on the Neo Geo, so... Yeah, certainly if you'd have seen this much action on your Sega Mega Drive or Super Nintendo without any slowdown and this sort of detail, you've been amazed. It really does, you know, illustrate how technically advanced the Neo Geo was. Obviously the huge cart sizes helped a great deal. But, there's no letting up. Oh, Suicide Pilot. Have you seen him? Oh, Suicide Flying Pilot. Oh my! Of course, you're nowhere near as fast. Harsh reality is you lose all your power-ups, you lose your speed-ups. Still make it through to the boss while spamming continue. No! Stu said I need to get a Super Famicom. Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know if you need to get one. Have you already got a Super Nintendo? They're not very expensive anyway. I think I got mine for about 20 quid. Yeah, no, this is Neo Geo, it's not Super Famicom. I thought I won't get deeply involved in a Super Famicom game because otherwise I'll end up playing it for ages. But yeah, I can show you the Super Famicom does look nice on the capture, I must say. I have a Super Nintendo, but the 50Hz thing, it really does drag at times. Yeah, I used to think that, but I just can't be bothered. If I've got it at 50Hz, I play it at 50Hz. If I've got it at 60, then I play it that way. I don't know, I thought that as well when I had a Super Nintendo. I was like, oh, I want to play Mario Kart, it should be so much bigger, the screen. And then when I actually got the Super Famicom and played Mario Kart, you're running an hour and about 10mm either side. It's like, for the most part, other than like the really badly converted games like NES era and things, for the most part, there's ways and means around it. I mean, if it really bothered me, I'd probably get another television and I'd set it up so that when it had a 50Hz signal, like this is what people forget, this is what would have happened back in the day when you bought a television and the TV guy come around and set it up. He would have increased the size of your 50Hz image on the screen so it nearly filled the screen. You weren't watching TV with big black bars, were you? So nowadays people have got the TVs, like me, set up for 60Hz gaming, so it fits perfectly on 60Hz. When I put 50Hz in, it's a lot smaller than it would be if I set it up for 50Hz, so I think that's also a bit of an element. Yeah, this game's become a bit of a guilty pleasure of mine, I must admit. Well, yeah, I got rid of my Super Nintendo. I did say if I get another one, I'll get a Super Famicom, but it's mainly the Mega Drive where I've got the real mix of 50 and 60Hz. I've got it a bit on PlayStation, but they seem to sort it out a lot better on the PlayStation. Now this game is bonkers. What's in here? Yeah, it's proper mental. There's loads of different, like, I guess you'd call them mini Kirby games on there, including a bit of a remake of the original one on the Game Boy. It's got this really weird power-up system. Oh, nice, suck the chicken in and turn into a chicken? No, I can just eat it. It's kind of hard to explain. The full screen thing, if you're using a PVM-BVM and stretch it, my PVM can do that. Mine has a different geometry settings for 50 and 60Hz. Yeah, like I say, there's ways and means around it. It's not I used to make a big deal about it, but the reality is, when I'm up here playing a game, I'll probably have a beer, you know, I'll probably have an hour spare. You know, once I get into the game, I'm not really thinking, could the screen be an extra 10mm bigger? Could this be running an extra 15% quicker? Because it's not really... It's nice if you've got everything 60Hz, brilliant, but it's like Japanese games. These games are Japanese, yeah, 60Hz, great. They're cheaper to buy, yeah, brilliant, but you try understanding the language in them. Because you can't, because it's not English. So... I mean, obviously, if it's like a role-playing game, you definitely can't play it very well if it's in Japanese, can you? But I think it's a bit overdone with people on YouTube when it comes to 50 and 60Hz. Some systems, obviously, it's worse than others, isn't it? I mean, NES is notoriously bad, although I've only got PAL games for my Nintendo. Well, I don't know any different. I've never played a 60Hz NES. When people like play Castlevania on the NES and I watch the videos, the music seems too fast to me. Hold on. 3D games are easy to convert correctly for 50 and 60 because 3D doesn't have frames of animation. Stephen White, 38. Hi Darren, always intended to buy a cart of Ghost Pilots, but have you seen the price of it recently? The going rate is about £230 plus these days. Jesus, I wasn't aware, no. I've only ever sold a few Neo Geo games. To be honest, I've regretted selling them all, so I don't think I'd sell mine. But yeah, that is far too much for Ghost Pilots. You've got to really like the game to pay that much for it. You really have. But it's a cool game, but that's a lot of money. Oh no. What's he doing? Come on, mate. Oh, I've got to give... There's no way of life. You kiss him or something. No, he's dead. Oh. Oh. You can help your partner. I've completely forgot what the moves are for this game. I was playing this on Christmas morning now, and it's... well, it's crazy. Like most Kirby games, it's just like really weird. And I do seem to have a large amount of Kirby games actually now. It's kind of a bit mental on them. Oh no, what did it? Oh yeah, that's it. I bet if you know the controls to this game, it's really good. Where's that guy gone? Yeah, I might kick these asses. Right, I'm having it about them powers. You can sort of suck them in and then you become the guy with the powers. It's strange. There's some crazy power-ups. You get it right though, you end up with you and like some real kick-ass person. Let's see if I can grab another one. want that pineapple. I was going to kill him. Oh. Well, no one said it was easy. Oh, I'll just do it say. I'm not bothered about the screen size, but I played some Mega Drive games like Turtles Hyperstone and I was thinking it was a little sluggish. Switched it to 60Hz and it was so much better. Yeah, there is that. Some, like I say, some games were properly converted and some weren't. That's the unfortunate part. My health is getting absolutely annihilated by this guy. Gotta help the helper. How can I help him? Oh, I've helped him. Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, apparently they say that Castlevania New Generation was properly optimised for the Power Mega Drive, but I still think the Japanese version plays a bit quicker. Feels different to me anyway. I guess it depends what you're used to, doesn't it, really? I mean, obviously I'm not going to be able to afford to buy the Japanese version of Castlevania for the Mega Drive. Because if Ghost Pilots is 230 quid, that means that's probably about 500 quid at this point. I mean, you could always play it on the EverDrive. I mean, that is the beauty of these flash carts, isn't it? You know, it's no longer some exclusive club, is it, where you've got to spend £1,000 to play Little Samson. You can just buy a, you know, £100 cartridge and play any of those sort of games. Oh, does that get me 3 lives? Yes. The Kirby character sprite was just there as a placeholder to make the game while they agreed on the final design, but people preferred the placeholder sprite. Yeah, I don't know. It's a cool character. This is an interesting game. Something going on here now. Right, so I can choose what's going on here. Can I get him to get that? No. I like that one. And I'll turn him into that one. And I'll be that one. Okay. Let's fly out of here. Now we've got a bit of a kick-ass combo. I think the aim is that you can actually play this with 2 people, so you can get your mates coming out you. So I presume, yeah, this is going to be a load of bosses. Oh, I've seen this. Oh, don't get too close. Yeah, he's got. Oh no. Getting too carried away there. How many forms has this bird got? That's the question you've got to ask yourself. Can't see that being the end. Uh-oh. What's Kirby going to do? Chuck him off the edge of a cliff? This is getting a bit harsh. Oh my god. Oh, he's going to put him in a tree. He's feeding them apples. Oh yeah, of course. There we go. Everyone's happy. Stephen, do you own and have an interest in modern systems and games, or do you just stick with retro these days? No, I just stick with retro these days. After the 360, I think it was probably about 2010, 2011. I just thought I'm not going to bother anymore. I'm just going to build up a alright collection of retro games and just, if I want to play games, just play those. It just got too complicated, the whole online thing and all these downloads and everything that people complain about these days. I guess I was infuriated about it earlier. So I've opened up another sort of level there. This one here, that's racing somebody. Struggled with that. This is some sort of like role-playing game cave adventure where you pick up loads of presents. Oh, not presents, like loads of treasures and things. Don't know what this is. Stuart says, now that I've played some Japanese and PAL versions, I'm shocked at some of the later games which have no optimizer until not even the music was done. Dynamite Heady is one of them. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I say, the thing is, if you've always played the PAL version, anything else seems weird. Like when I've always played the PAL version of NES Castlevania, so when I seen like an American channel streaming it or something, the music to me, it's like, wow, it sounds sped up. I actually prefer the slower down, the music slowed down. I think it sounds even more haunting. Gameplay wise, obviously, it's going to be better the other way, but. Like I say, I'm just going to go with what I've got. I'm not going to... I certainly wouldn't go out my way to buy any PAL games now. Unless they're exclusives, you know, things like Cannon Fodder and Sensible Soccer and stuff like that on the Mega Drive that's exclusive to European territories. To me, you know, that's the only way to play them, isn't it, really? So I let it slide for that kind of thing, you know. I suppose you could say, well, they're optimised for the territory, which is true. This is looking bad. Is he helpful? Right, so now it's changed that I just get the powers. Or can I... Oh no, same thing. No, what's happened to him now? I don't know. Yeah, it's so bizarre, this Kirby game. Oh no! Bad luck there, old bean. Oh, did he come through or not? This is the trouble, I think this is some sort of maze to get out of here in time or something. He looks interesting. That's why I want to become that. Oh, no. Same thing. No, I've ended up with nothing. Yeah, this is the problem, you don't know what you're doing there. No, that doesn't turn into anything either. Oh man, I've got nothing. What am I supposed to hit him with? He's off anyway. Oh, he's back. He's going to fire something. He's going to fire something at me. Oh, what? What's going on? Wow. I think that was supposed to happen. Oh, Steve White says, I can't blame you, mate. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, the modern day stuff's good. It's all about what you've grown up with, I suppose, isn't it? But oh no, yeah, okay. Oh no, quick Kirby, Kirby, get out there. Now can I turn into something good? Yeah, bloke who throws bombs. Got Bird and Bomb Boy here, so just hilarious how this game is. Proper Japanese. Oh, watch out for that fish. What we gotta do? Go down there. Oh, the Red Sea. Do you need that? Lawn Boy posted a video about modern consoles. I have an Xbox 360 and during its time I bought over 50 games. I got an Xbox One and I bought 7 games. I really lost interest in this generation. Yeah, my friend, he had a Xbox One, and when I kept going around his house he kept saying, oh, try out this Forza game, or try out this game or that game, and obviously I was a bit cynical, but to me I was just like, it's literally the same as Xbox 360, it just looks slightly better. It's not... I don't know what it is with modern consoles. I think I always wanted like really realistic graphics and things, and as soon as they came here, it become that uncanny valley, didn't it? And then they've never really caught up with PCs anyway, have they? Obviously, because that technology just carries on moving. So there's just not. I don't see what more they can do with games, which I think is why they're going back to, you know, doing a lot of retro kind of games, because they don't know what else to do. Well, the same as with everything else, isn't it? Music, movies, you know, they've all gone. I mean, a lot of the movies that are out now are remakes, or, you know, films about old books or whatever else. It's... You wouldn't think Kirby was such a violent character, really, would you? I mean, he looks cute enough, but some of the things he does, it's not as sweet as you think. So weird when you go in there, out of the water, and oh, I don't know, back in the water. It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I would have bought hundreds of games for the 360 because I had one at launch, and at that point, that's why I got into, well, the idea that it's just better to just get some retro stuff, because I was spending like 40 quid a week on the Xbox 360 games, really. Oh, what's happened here? There's a bit of jumping, is it? Was I supposed to float? Because I used to play online a lot, and it was always about, you know, getting the late, you know, Call of Duty would come out, everyone would play that for 3 weeks, and then a new Ghost Recon would come out, and everyone would get that and play that for 2 weeks, and a new Rainbow Six Vegas would come out, and a new Forza would come out, and what am I supposed to do? Climb up the ladder? It was very much like that. I mean, Xbox Live used to be a ghost town on games after they'd been out for a month. Couldn't find anyone to play them with. Right, what's going on with this Kirby guy? It's been a right pain. That's what we want. Flying, mate. Oh no, don't do that. Oh, confused here. Don't know where his friend's gone. That's completely gone out of the question. Oh no. Run away, I think that's the best idea. That's it, get me a friend. Oh no, that's me. Oh! No! Yeah, definitely I've ever played this one before, I think. Actually better off not killing the enemies. That's not the idea of the game. I'm getting it wrong. Oh, he's a speedy old chap though, Kirby. Yeah, we definitely need him to get through there. Yeah, it is a sort of running race. Oh, come on, what's going on? Oh, turn back! No, what's happening? We're gonna get out! No. Oh, man. Well, it didn't last long on that Kirby game. But, yeah, anyway, I think I'm going to call it a day on this particular stream. I'm going to go and get something to eat and whatnot. But, thank you to everyone who came along, commented and watched. And, oh, hopefully I'll do another one soon, as long as this seems to have worked out pretty well. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you before 2020, but if I don't, have a really nice new year. And I'll no catch you at some point soon. Take care. Little Matt's here now. Crikey, what are you doing? I'm overeating in here. Oh, let me read your comment. Got my Christmas t-shirt on, 6-pack. Standard. Matt say, greetings, I agree this is the first day I've relaxed and switched on the electrics. Nice games. I think I sold Silpheed after the 3D disagreement with me for some reason. Yeah, it does feel a bit awkward, definitely. Well, you've probably seen how far I got, so I certainly didn't complete the job. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. Hope to catch you all soon.